Hey guys, so today I thought I would do like a part 2 of unhauling books from my Goodreads TBR. So I'm just gonna go through like I did last time and delete some books. Now, last time I did this, when I went back and was editing the footage, and also someone mentioned it in the comments of the video when I posted it as well, there's this nice button up the top called Batch Edit, and using that you can delete more than one book at a time and it doesn't like refresh the page every time. So I'm going to use that today. It's going to be so much better because last time I was just clicking on like the X at the side, which takes a really long time. So as you can see, I'm starting with 350 books on my want to read list today. I think it was like 400 and something last time, so we did get it down by like 100, and I'm hoping today we'll be able to work our way through, and I want to get this down to just having books I really want on my TBR to be in this list. It's still going to be quite high. I anticipate that it's probably still going to be over 100. Okay, so I think we got up to about here last time. I remember there being around like 100 books. I have added more books to my TBR since the last video, of course. It's a never-ending problem, but yeah. So I think this is about where we were up to. This book, The Road Less Traveled, I know this is like a self-help type book. I went through a phase of wanting to read a lot of like self-help non-fiction, but I'm not really interested in that one anymore. This book, Someday Maybe, is by Lauren Graham, who played Lorelai in Gilmore Girls. I love her, but I think I want to read her memoir first, and if I like her writing in her memoir, then I might read some of her fiction. Rasputin, A Short Life. This book I just saw in a bookstore and it looked cool, but I didn't buy it, so I just added it to my Goodreads TBR instead. But to be honest, I don't anticipate reading that anytime soon. It didn't have very good reviews, as it turns out. As you can see, it's got like a low 3, which is not great. Saga is a graphic novel series. I did get the first one out from the library, but I didn't end up reading it. It just didn't look that appealing to me at the time, so I might remove that one. Rat Queens, I'm not sure about, so I'm going to have a look at it. A Pack of Booze Guzzling, Death Dealing Battle Maidens for Hire doesn't sound that great to me, especially that they've got booze guzzling in the description, so I think I'm going to delete that one as well. I've heard good things about it, but I don't think it'll be for me. I might delete Watchmen as well. I've seen the movie, not that fussed to read it, to be honest. A lot of these ones I'm like really excited about. I'm scrolling past all of these being like, yes. This book, The World of Throne of Glass, it's not even out yet, I don't think, and also, I'm not caught up with Throne of Glass, so I don't think I'll be reading that one, especially anytime soon. This book was going to be the first book in the Eldest Curses series, but it's not. It's the second one. I don't know why I thought it was the first one. It might have just not been labelled in the beginning, but I kind of want to just check if I've got the first one on my Goodreads TBR, because then I can remove this one. Yes, I have. So that's cool. The Red Scrolls of Magic is going to be the first book in that series, so I'm going to remove this one. This one sounded good at the time. It's like about a future America, so like the way America is headed at the moment, but it just sounds a little bit overly political for what I'm in the mood for currently. Let's Get Lost, I've heard good things about, but I can't remember anything about it aside from that I've heard good things, so I'm just going to check what it's about. Road Trip, might delete that one. These are some books by New Zealand authors that I really want to read. The Arrival of Missives, I've definitely heard of, but I don't know what it is. Let's have a look. A genre-defying story of fate, free will, and the choices we make in life. Sounds kind of good. I don't know. Paradise Lost is like a really epically long poem, so I might delete that one. I got that one out from the library as well, or I looked at it and didn't end up getting it out. I didn't read it in any case. Captive Prince I've heard really terrible things about, so I'm going to get rid of that one. Stories of Your Life and Others. It's got a really good rating, but it doesn't sound super appealing. I have no reason for most of this. I'm just like, not in the mood for that one. I might delete it. Because there's just realistically, like, I know some of you guys might be like, no, you have to read that book, but there's so many books on my Goodreads TBR. I might as well read the ones I'm really excited about first, and then we'll see what happens after that. Two Boys Kissing I'm going to remove. I really want to read it, but I do want to read Every Day first, because I think there's a movie coming out of Every Day. They Can't Kill Us All, America's Radical Justice Movement. Again, a little bit too political for me, I think. Ridley Walker is one that every time I see it on my TBR, I click on it because I'm like, I don't remember this. And then I do remember and it sounds good. In the far distant future, the country laid waste by nuclear Holocaust, 12-year-old Ridley Walker tells a story. I'm gonna delete that one as well. It just sounds like a sort of dystopian, like post-apocalyptic sort of story, which I'm not super interested in right now. And there's another Colleen Hoover book that I'm gonna delete. I said last time that I had a lot of Colleen Hoover on my TBR and I want to read like one of hers, which I think I decided to keep November 9, and yeah, we'll see what happens after that. This is a historical fiction and I remember putting this on my TBR, but to be honest, I don't think I really want to read it. History of the Present, again, sounds a little bit too political. I'm just not in the mood for that at the moment. Rip It Up and Start Again, I have no idea what that is. It's a book about post-punk pretty much. Someone must have recommended that to me, but I'm going to delete it for now. I feel like I have a few like non-fiction books about punk and about music and things like that. £45, I don't remember. This one, The Accusation, I also don't remember. It's about a girl wanting to lose a lot of weight all at once, and it's a YA contemporary. Sounds kind of good. I think I'll keep that one. This one is like stories from North Korea. Again, it just sounds a little bit too political. The Next Together, I remember adding this to my TBR, but I don't remember what it is. A couple are kind of like reincarnated in different times throughout history and they always end up together and then are dragged apart. Sounds kind of interesting, but yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna delete that one. I just sounds like it might be a little bit tropey. I could be wrong, but yeah. This book, How Hard Can Love Be, is part of a trilogy sort of. The first one followed a character and it was like her story, and then the subsequent books in this Spinster Club series are going to follow like a couple of her different friends, I think. But the book for me, I think, was like a 3-star. It wasn't great, so I think I'm gonna not continue with that series. This one, I know Jean from Jean Bookish Thoughts probably recommended it, but this one sounds just a little bit too heavy for me right now, so I'm gonna delete it off my TBR. On the Nature of Things, I've heard of 13 Reasons Why I'm pretty confident that I don't want to read. I haven't read it, I haven't watched the TV show, but just knowing the subject matter, and I've heard a lot, like I've pretty much had the whole thing spoiled anyway because people have been talking about it really openly, which is great, but I think that's definitely not going to be for me. It's just not something that I think I'll be able to handle reading or watching. On the Nature of Things now, just looking at this one, that doesn't help me at all. I think I'm going to keep that. I must have added it for a reason and the synopsis does not help at all, so I'm going to keep that one on there. The State of Grace, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure Karis recommended this, I think. This one sounds like it could be good. It's about a girl with Asperger's, which I haven't read a book with a female character with Asperger's before. She has a horse. Horses always sell me on things, to be honest. I'm one of those people that likes horses, so if you put a horse in a book, I'm more likely to read it. This book, The Big Smoke, I got out of the library, or I saw it at the library and I didn't end up getting it, so I'm going to delete that one. But seeing a lot of this is like reminding me of series that I need to keep reading. This one I'm going to delete. It's likely that Emma Books recommended that, probably. Don't quote me on that, but she's kind of the only person I watch that recommends books about eating disorders. I just think a memoir, I don't mind it in fiction, but I feel like a memoir might be like a little too intense. This one, again, a little bit too political. I'm going to delete it. This one, Another Me. Why are they not giving synopsises for some of these books? It's kind of annoying. It's a book with a doppelganger by the sounds of it, or like someone who looks like her and she's trying to figure out why. But the ratings aren't great, so I'm going to delete that one. This, I have no idea. City of Beasts. Kind of sounds cool. I'm gonna leave that one on there. It's like different to anything else that I have on my TBR. I went through a phase of looking for some books on like budgeting advice and things like that, but I found Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover, which was amazing, and I just feel like I don't need to read any other books on the subject because I love everything that he had in his, so I'm gonna delete this one. This again was a little phase of wanting to read like self-help non-fiction, so I'm going to delete that one too. This one's about immunizations, which was like vaguely interesting to me at the time, but now it sounds kind of boring. The Diesel Powered Ragdoll is a very intriguing title. I don't know what this is though. I'm guessing it's poetry, so I think I'll leave this one on here because I do need to read more poetry. This I believe is poetry as well. I'm guessing this one is also poetry. Blueprints. It's a funny kind of story. I don't know what this is. I might delete that one. It's got good ratings, but just doesn't sound super appealing to me right now. I'm like, why did I add this to my TBR? It sounds like everything I don't like. So a girl who's pregnant with her art teacher's baby. That sounds horrible. Her mother's dead, her father's a drunk. It sounds super depressing. Oh, a twist. So she gets invited into like a compound project kind of thing, raising, yeah, like a utopian. So I'm guessing it'll become like a dystopian kind of thing. Sounds interesting, but I have a feeling that I'm not gonna love it, so I'm gonna delete that one, I think. And then what have we got? Based on a true story. Okay, this one I remember and it sounds good. So this one, a girl, her plans change after high school. I'm kind of over that storyline. There's a lot of books out about that, like the perfect student who suddenly doesn't get into like the school she wanted or whatever, or she's trying to turn her life around before the end of high school. I'm kind of just over that particular storyline. There's another Colleen Hoover book, and there's a lot of those on here. How to Make a Wish, I don't remember. Sounds like a lot of family drama. It's like an LGBT read as well, but the actual storyline doesn't sound particularly appealing to me. Like, I know it's not the kind of thing that I would look for, so I'm going to leave that one. Horse Walks Into a Bar, don't remember that one. I'm sure it's good. It sounds like literary fiction basically, but I don't know, just doesn't sound super appealing to me. What else do we have here? The Descent of Man, I don't especially remember. Just after I was saying I remember all of these, like I remember none of these. I'm interested in these kind of non-fiction books that question gender stereotypes. And The Hollow, so she's questioning whether her best friend is actually dead or not, or like what happened. I'm kind of thinking I'll delete that one. It doesn't sound especially appealing to me. These two, Cruel Summer and Hollow Pike, I remember hearing that they're really good. I'm pretty sure Jean from Jean Bookish Thoughts mentioned a few of like Juno Dawson's books that sound really good, so I'm pretty confident that I'll keep these on here, but let's just see. I think what I'm going to do is just keep one of Juno Dawson's books. I'm going to keep Cruel Summer and delete Hollow Pike, and if I like Cruel Summer then I'll read some of Dawson's other books as well. I'm not sure with Neil Gaiman. I think I want to read like one of his books and see how we go. I think for now maybe I'll leave Coraline on there because I know it's super popular. A lot of people like it. So yeah, I think I'll leave that one. But let's have a look at the Electric Kool-Aid Test. Okay, it's about LSD. To be honest, I might delete that one. I don't know if I'm particularly interested in it. All of these now are very recent. This, I do not remember. The Hypnotist Love Story, no idea. So her new boyfriend is being stalked by his ex-girlfriend. Ellen doesn't know it, but she's already met this woman, so that's kind of creepy. Okay, so I've gotten to the bottom of my list. I'm really curious now to remove these books from my shelf and see how many we're left with. To be honest, I feel like I haven't removed that many, so let's see. Oh man. You cannot remove a book from its exclusive shelf, but you can move it to a different one. Annoying. So the whole batch edit thing doesn't actually work, I don't think. Let me come back and tell you how many books I've got left on here once I've gone through and deleted them all individually. Okay, so I've gotten my TBR down to 302 books from 350 today, so I've removed around 50 books. It's definitely not as low as I thought I could get it. I thought I could get it to around less than 200, like 100 and something, but to be honest, all of these books, all 302 of them, are books that I really want to read. I might get like super ruthless one day and do another Goodreads unhaul and really whittle it down, but at the moment I can't bring myself to do that. Like, I feel like every single one of these books, compared to previously when I had like 400 and something, now I'm scrolling through and every single title, all of the covers of the books, I recognize them and I know what they're about and I really want to read them. So I am disappointed that the whole batch edit thing didn't work out. If you guys are sitting there being like, oh my gosh, this is how you do it, please tell me, because I can't work out how to remove books from my want to read list other than deleting them one at a time. That is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to friend me on Goodreads, absolutely do. And I'll see you guys with another video in a couple days. Bye.